Whereas by the one man's disobedience, the many were made sinners, so by the one man's obedience, the many will be made righteous. Of course, this is referring to Adam and Eve, the first sin. Because they sinned, sin entered the world for the first time, and it has affected everybody from that point forward. Sin has affected everybody. Nobody is free from the effects of sin. In fact, without Jesus, we have this slant or this tendency to sin. It's just natural for us. And even as Christians, we fight that tendency and that natural desire to just want to sin. It's easier to sin. You guys know it's easier to sin than to be obedient to God's commands. It just is. It's just the way we're naturally meant to go. You know, the road is wide that leads to destruction, but narrow that leads to life. You know, the Pilgrim's Progress. Any of you read that when you were in school or read that when you were younger? The Pilgrim's Progress, you know, it's this idea that he could have taken the easy road, but he had to take the narrow road with difficulties and challenges. And that is the Christian life. That is the challenge of being a Christian. It's not easy being a Christian. The entire world is set up to fight against those who want to live for the Lord. It is a struggle to live for the Lord. Because ever since sin entered the world through Adam, the world has gotten more and more evil and more sinful. And sin becomes easier, and to the point where people say, this is good. Sin is good. The opposite of what is true, people say, is true. They believe the lies. And then by the obedience of one man, that's Jesus. He's not a man, but came to the earth and lived as a man, but he is the Son of God. He made it so that everybody could be made righteous. You know, so what this beginning of this passage is really just saying is that we're all broken. We're all sinners. But because of Jesus, we're able to trade that identity as a sinner to become more like Jesus, to become a person who God sees as a righteous person.